Arsenal shock everyone. Rivals are having a field day, and if you're expecting me to come on here and add fuel to the fire and say Arsenal are starting to struggle, could this be the start of Arsenal bottling it? I'm afraid you're going to be disappointed, because to me this result is expected. Let me put this into context for you. Sunderland are not a bad team. They are a top 4 team. People can say they've just come up from the Championship, but I like to deal with facts. At this current moment, Sunderland factually are a top 4 team. Factually, they're undefeated at home this season, and Arsenal went to that ground, went 1-0 down, and still got a point out of it. Now look, I'm not going to pretend and dress it up and say this is the perfect scenario, but let's also not forget that teams like Liverpool last season, Man City the season before, because I'm hearing people say, well, Liverpool last season wouldn't have drew at Sunderland. And I'm like, Liverpool drew 9 games last season. Let's not pretend that you're supposed to go undefeated for the whole season. This current run of Arsenal form was unexpected anyway. We're unbeaten in the last 10, and we've had 8 clean sheets on the bounce. We've won 10 games in a row. You have to go back 14 games since Arsenal last took a defeat. Like, let's put this into context. Right, it's not perfect, but the building isn't falling down. There's a massive game today between Man City and Liverpool, and depending what happens on that, the closest one of them teams can be to us is 4 points, 5 points away. It's not that bad. Look, Sunderland, like I said, are a decent side. And I know rivals are going to take this opportunity to have a dig at Arsenal and say, oh my God, this is where they bottle it. Oh my God, Arsenal are not this unbeatable team that everyone expects them to be. And I'm just like, well, that's only your expectations. Most Arsenal fans are fully with the understanding that at points this season, we're going to drop points. Like, I'm going to break something to you that might surprise you. Arsenal are even going to lose a game this season. Oh my God, we're going to lose this season. It's inevitable. You can't continue the current form that Arsenal are showing. We are not, unfortunately, the best team in history who's incapable of losing. Because even the best team in history, let me tell you something, they lost games. They drew games. No one goes unbeaten except Arsenal in the league, however long ago it was, 22 years ago. But look, rivals will have a dig at Arsenal because it's the first time in about 2 or 3 months they've had the opportunity. It's all gone our way, so we have to be able to take it. Look, my phone has been belling off this morning with Liverpool fans, Man United fans, even a Man City fan popping up and saying, oh, this is the start of it. Arsenal are now going to bottle it. And I'm like, not really, because the context is there. Arsenal have been unbelievable so far, so at some point we was going to drop points. Now, I said before this Sunderland game, I'll tell you what, I would be happy, I would snatch your hand off for a 1-0 scrappy win to Arsenal and then go into the international break. Because I know what's happening at Arsenal in a minute, and people won't like to admit this, and this isn't me giving excuses, because before I tell you what I'm going to say, I will clearly say to you, Sunderland deserved the point. Sunderland were okay in that game. They broke through our defence 2 times. Fair play to them. Arsenal didn't defend their box as well as they have done in recent weeks, months and years, and we got punished for it. So fair play to Sunderland for making Arsenal make those mistakes in those moments to allow Sunderland to capitalise, because not many teams have been able to do that. But after the international break, Arsenal will come back stronger, and I am 100% sure of that, because we're seeing some of these Arsenal players now return from injury. And again, oh, look, he's blaming injuries. I'm not blaming injuries. I'm just telling you the truth. When we have 6 attackers out with injury, of course, it's going to affect us going forward. You would be crazy to not allow me to say that. If I say to you, we've got Odegaard out, Gyökeres out, Havertz out, Gabriel Jesus out, Martinelli out, and there's even one more I can't think of off the top of my head. You're telling me that won't affect you going forward? With all of those players, it's going to make you, of course, weaker. Now, we've still got great players like Saka and Trossard, who both scored. But we're also playing with a Mikel Merino up front, who's never been a centre-forward. And I like him in that position. He can score goals. But he's not an out-and-out centre-forward. And again, this isn't me sour grapes, because I've said in games, I wouldn't mind seeing Mikel Merino playing up front. And if we're being honest, with Mikel Merino up front, we still should have got the points. But my point still stands that when we have players like Gyökeres, Havertz, Jesus, Martinelli, Madueke, Of course we will be stronger. Then Odegaard in midfield with creativity, you're going to see a lack of potency, a lack of creativity. That's just facts. When you have that many brilliant players, that's £300 million worth of talent sitting in the stadium because they can't get on the pitch because they're injured. So of course we're going to be affected. Again, fair play to Sunderland. They took it to Arsenal. Arsenal made the mistakes. Now, Bukayo Saka, great finish. Leandro Trossard, I want to single out because there's been a lot of conversations around Leandro Trossard this season. Last season, people saying he's not good enough. He can be upgraded. And I'm not calling people out because I held that opinion. I've said recently, if there's a position I can see Arsenal upgrading, it's probably that left wing position. That was before the season started, by the way, when kind of Martinelli wasn't really doing much. Trossard wasn't pulling up trees. I've always said I appreciate them as squad players, but if you're looking for that starting 11, do they start in a big Champions League fixture, in a Premier League decider? The answer back then, with the information I had, was no, they're probably not quite at that level yet. But the way Trossard is playing right now is brilliant. And I think having Calafiori moving forward allows Trossard to find gaps. And we know what Trossard does. He works so well in those tight spaces. And that was exemplified by the way he kind of crafted that opportunity. When he had the player in front of him, kind of moved it to his left foot, got it out of his feet, got the shot away. And the finish was top shelf. It was unbelievable from Trossard. It's to the point where I'm saying start him in the next game, even if Martinelli's back. People know my thoughts on Martinelli. Now, he hasn't been at it the past few seasons, but I love Martinelli. He's so exciting, but you can't bench Trossard when he's playing like this. Now, luckily, like I said, the international break has come and we're able to rest players. We haven't got Gyökeres going away on international duty, Gabriel Jesus going away on international duty. These players can work with the coaching staff, can work with the manager, and they need to, because when we come back, we know the schedule we have. We've got 3 tough games straight on the bounce, and people are looking at it and saying, oh, look at Arsenal's next 5 games, it's very difficult. But at the same time, right, fine, it's difficult, but we're going to have more players available. Arsenal were only in this unbelievable position early on in the season because we had this array of talent that could kind of mix and match, and this guy comes out, he needs a bit of rest, and then this guy comes in and there's not too much of a drop off. Oh my god, this Arsenal squad is so deep. But when you have injuries, you don't have that luxury anymore. So Arsenal have actually been overachieving with the squad they've got. Look, Liverpool are the loudest fan base that you can find, but they're the ones who are underperforming the most this season. They are the team who have bottled it. Liverpool have bottled it more than anyone. They was the favourites before the season started. They spent 500 million. They broke the British transfer record twice in a row, and still they find themselves 7 points behind Arsenal. They're the team that's bottled it. Don't allow Liverpool fans or Man City fans to get on your case too much without having some ammunition to fire back, because Man City as well, they had high expectations before the season started. They signed some brilliant players. They've still got the best manager in the world. So let them know, well, you lot ain't doing great either. You can aim something at us and say, oh my God, you dropped points against a newly promoted Sunderland side. Just tell them this is a top 4 team. Liverpool fans, they're actually above you. They've conceded less goals than you, and their squad is worth about the same as one of your players. So don't get too loud. Don't get too carried away when you was favourites before the season started, and then you bottled it about 4 games in, started losing, and the last 6 games you've lost 5 of them. I don't know, just hearing people speak, of course it's expected. Because like I said, Arsenal have been so good recently, they have been clamouring. You better believe they've been waiting for the door to open slightly so they can boot it open. Like I said, if we're being realistic, you're playing a top 4 side, a team with the second least conceded goals in the whole league, a team who is undefeated at home this season. You go to their ground, you go 1-0 down, and you still rescue a point. I know it hurts because we conceded late on, and that's always more of a kick in the nuts, but like I said, put it into perspective. It's not that bad. It's not the only game we're going to draw this season. Now, when we come back, Tottenham and Chelsea, those are games that you would hope to go and win. But if we drop points in one of those games, again, it's not going to be the end of the world, because Chelsea, they're more than capable of taking points off Man City and Liverpool. Is it a perfect world if we drop points to them? No, of course it's not. In a perfect world, we win every single game. But at the same time, that's not reality. Tottenham, we know they can take points off Liverpool. They have done and will do take points off Man City. So it's a long season. people getting carried away saying Arsenal are definitely going to win it, we're favourites by a mile. Look, we can say that because we've been the best team. I think most people are in full agreement. This isn't going to be easy. Arsenal are not going to run away with it and win the league by 20 points. We've just gone through a good period. It happens every season with different teams. We went through a good period last season. 2 seasons ago, we definitely went through a good period. But that doesn't mean you're destined or deserving to win the title. You have to play good for 38 games. Arsenal have played good for 10 or 11 games. Now, we need to keep that consistency because it doesn't seem or appear to me right now that Liverpool will keep that consistency. They certainly haven't if we're going off recent evidence. Man City, again, they do have the ability to go on a run. And both of these teams, if they start to go on a run, they will be like horses. They'll be like a bull. You will be difficult to stop them because we know they have quality players like Arsenal do. Now, the benefit is when we have all these players back from injury, we have a deeper squad. But there will be points this season where inevitably Man City will get injuries, Liverpool will get more injuries, and they will start to drop points. That's just how it works. Arsenal have been very fortunate to only have dropped points against Sunderland with the injuries we've had. Like I said, £300 million worth of players on the bench. We've had Saka out this season. Gabriel's been a doubt. Saliba's been a doubt. We've had Zubimendi missing games. We've had Declan Rice playing unbelievably well. And look, he could have done better for one of their goals. So could Gabriel. But again, it's unreasonable to expect these high demands in every single moment for the whole season. There will be lapses of concentration. There will be a duel where, even though it's unlikely, they won't win that duel. It just happens sometimes. That might have been Arsenal's one. We might have got it out of the way. We might go and win the next 5. Hopefully that happens, of course. But don't be surprised if Arsenal drop points again in the future if we continue to get these injuries. Now, we can have a conversation about why are these injuries happening? Should these injuries be happening? I just think it's bad luck. I don't think Arsenal are doing anything extraordinary in terms of putting these players through their paces and doing things that the sports scientists suggest they shouldn't. We know football right now is mostly run by data. They always heartbeats, muscles, like the strain on the body, it's all analysed by scientific professionals. So Arsenal would be following the guidelines. It's just unfortunately they have a big squad and a large portion of those players have been injured. Let me know your thoughts though on everything you've heard in this video. If you are panicking after listening to people, I don't know, kind of trying to rationalise it, does it put your mind at ease slightly? I know in the back of your mind you will always have, I've seen this before, Arsenal have been playing really well before and then kind of we started to falter, we started to drop points, but there is a different feeling in the air this season. Arsenal would appear to me to be different this season. I won't change my mind on that. Again, once 25 games have been played, maybe we can assess where we are and that might change, but right now, Arsenal are still the team to beat. So I know the rivals are loud, but don't allow them to infiltrate your mind and let you think that Arsenal are now going to bottle the league, because it's not ours to bottle right now. This league is and still should be Liverpool's to bottle. I know we're ahead of them, but let the pressure be on Liverpool. Let them know you've spent 500 million. You was the favourites. You kept telling us last season Van Dijk's better than Saliba, Konate's better than Gabriel, Alisson's better than Raya. Prove it. Why are you not ahead of us then? Why are you still 7 points behind us? Why are you failing in the league this season when you spent all that money? You've got a manager who come in his first season and won the league and oh my God, we got the best manager in the world. It doesn't seem it this season. Again, I'm not writing Liverpool off. I'm not writing Man City off, but they are loud right now. And let them be, because their day will come. And in fact, it might come in a couple of hours' time when Man City take on Liverpool. Thanks so much to everyone for watching and listening. Before you go, if you could do me a quick favour, just hit like and subscribe, and I'll speak to you all in tomorrow's video. Gooners, have a good day.